The recording and yeah, so recording is started. My screen is shared. Can you guys confirm that you guys can hear me? You guys can see my screen. Everything is fine. Perfect. Thank you so much, Shiva. Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you. Uh, I would request all of you that please keep yourself in mute and you can keep your camera off as well. And if you guys have any question in between, feel free to put into the chat section. I will be keep looking at that and will reply your query in between. Because like if you will speak, everyone will start speaking, then there will be a lot of echo and other disturbance. So that's why requesting all that keep on mute. Cool. And recording you all will get after the session by EOD today. So don't worry about that. I have already started the recording. And you will also get the PPT as well. Okay, so what is the agenda today? Agenda of this bootcamp is like detailed training on SelectorsHub, Test Case Studio, couple of complex scenarios like Sherdom, SVG, iframe, dynamic elements you will be teaching. How to handle invisible drop-down elements like there will be lots of kinds of element which immediately disappear. So how to handle them, how you can inspect them, how you can write these locators for them. Then tricks to do manual and automation testing through Xpath rather than wasting a lot of time through like writing automation script and doing the manual testing. Then how you can do the data scrapping through Xpath, that is also be there. And we will be having the quiz. So this will also be helpful for us to like understand lots of great things. First of all, Test Case Studio. So what is this tool Test Case Studio? Is any like how many of you are aware about Test Case Studio before? Have you guys used it? Okay, good. Okay, so Test Case Studio, this is a free browser plugin which helps you to record your manual steps in plain English sentences, and then it used to generate the screenshots and lots of other features, automation like Xpath, CSS selectors. You can generate the codes as well. So lots of great advantages and features are there in Test Case Studio. So how you can use it and how it can help you, how it can help you to improve your productivity. Basically, like whatever you will be learning here and whatever tool you will get here, they will be free and they will help you immediately to improve your productivity at least by 30 to 40%, and sometimes in some cases it will improve your productivity by 50%. So you see that, like suppose I'm here, like let's say we have to do the testing of Google search functionality, and that's where we have to like we have to test our website. Let's say for an example, that if I'm searching something here on select, let's say I'm searching here for SelectorsHub, then I clicked here somewhere and I'm reaching to certain steps and lots of steps. If I will perform, like I did right click, I click here, I click here, I click here, then I click here, and then I try to enter value in these fields here, and then I click here. So we generally don't able to remember all these steps that what we have performed. So in this case, Selectors Test Case Studio will help us to remember all these steps. Let me show you how. So first, let's see how from where you can install this and how you can get this Test Case Studio plugin. This is a browser plugin, so you can just go to simply selectorsHub.com, and here Test Case Studio button is there. Click on this. Click on Chrome. Like it is available for all browsers. It depends like for which browser you want. So let's say we want for Chrome. Then add to Chrome. Add extension. Once it is added, it will show you like by default it will not show you here, so you will have to pin it to toolbar. So now we have added Test Case Studio in our browser, and we have here we can find it. Okay, cool. Whenever you add any browser extension in your browser, it is recommended that you restart the browser or close the tabs which were already opened and open the new tab. So let's say we have opened this. Okay, so we have seen what is Test Case Studio, how to install it, and where you can find it in your browser. So here you can find it. Now, before starting the testing, you just have to do one single click. Now see, just click. This is how it will open. Okay, cool. Our work is done. Now you just start your basic testing, what you generally used to do. So let's say we want to test here Google search functionality first, that if we will search SelectorsHub on Google, whether it comes in the result or not. So now I will scroll down here. This is a website. I will click on this. I want to test Google, like my website is coming in Google search or not. And then I want to see like all when I open the website, each and every tab is working or not. So let's say I click on Test Case Studio. I right click on BootCamp. Then I click on Courses. Then I click on Certification. Click on Practice Page. Then I click on, let's say, Quiz. Then I click on Changelog. Then I click on, let's say, Join Us. Again, I'm clicking back to Practice Page. Here, let's say if I enter company name, I'm trying to enter here first name, but this field is not editable, so I'm not able to enter the value here. Then I'm trying to enter the last name, so this field is non-editable. Now both these input boxes are non-editable, so we cannot enter the value here. So you see that we have performed multiple steps, and now I have to raise a bug here that these fields are not working, these are disabled input box, fix them. Or if I have to tell it to my developer that this issue is there in this page, then he will definitely like, we will always have to like write down the steps that how to reproduce the bug, right? And developer will always ask for the screenshots and what are the steps you have followed to reproduce this, like to get this bug. And we always have to write down all those steps, whatever we have followed, whenever we raise a bug or whenever we tell it to the developer that there is an issue in the website. Now, does any one of you remember all the steps which we have performed just now to reach here? As a human being, it's very difficult to recall all the steps what we have performed, where I have right clicked, where I have clicked first, where I have clicked later. Does any one of you there on the call remember all the steps what we have performed? If we have to like file a bug in Jira or we have to tell it to developer, but we will have to tell like without steps we cannot raise a bug, right? Agree? Like without steps we can never raise a bug. We always need steps, we always need the screenshot. Now you see that without doing anything extra, like I'm opening this Test Case Studio again, so you can open this by Control Tab, or like here you can click on the logo again, the window will come up. So you see here the magic. Now all the steps has been recorded here in plain English sentences. You see that first steps, open website. Second, we have entered SelectorsHub into that Google search. Then we press enter. Then we scroll down to see that link. Then we click on that SelectorsHub website link. Then we click on Test Case Studio. Then we right click on Bootcamp. Then we click on courses, click on certification. All those steps has been recorded here. Then we try to click on first name, then we scroll down, then we click on enter last name field. All the steps has been recorded. We can simply copy these, click on this copy button and paste it to developer that these are the steps to reproduce that issue. Just follow them and fix this issue. So simple it is. You need not to write any step. This will save a huge amount. And what you did, nothing. You just started Test Case Studio before starting your testing. And now about the screenshot, because without a screenshot we cannot trace the bug. You see that you have a screenshot for each and every step. And the best part about the screenshot, if you open this, you see that the field, in fact, the field is also highlighted. You see that along with the name, the screenshot name is click on first name, and here the field is highlighted. So developer will immediately understand, okay, this screenshot is for click on first name, and this is the field which is not working, in which for which tester has raised a bug. So now your job is so easy, because you see that generally screenshot, how we take the screenshot, we take the screenshot like this, then we will highlight the field in that screenshot, and you guys will agree on this that yes, we do this way, that we highlight the field in this like this way. Then we will save this. We will have to rename the like once it is opened, the screenshot is opened here. Because generally the screenshot will come with this name, like different name, like screenshot, this name it will be there. So you will have to rename the screenshot so that like developer will understand this screenshot is for click on first name. So that is also there. In fact, like tomorrow you will not understand for what purpose you have taken this screenshot, because generally we used to keep taking the screenshot. Like you see that hundreds of screenshot I have taken, but I cannot understand that for what purpose I have taken this screenshot. But here in test case studio, you will understand, okay, this is screenshot is for 15th step, click on first name. So this will also solve that problem. And you can download this test case, like simple click on download test case. All the screenshots has been downloaded here. All the test steps has been downloaded here in XLS. Now you can open this, or in fact open this zip folder of a screenshot. You see that all the screenshots, basically this is a screenshot complete test case. Like open website, this is the screenshot. Second, enter into search here, this one. Then we press enter here, which whatever steps you have performed on whichever screen, that screenshot you have here, and it will be highlighting that particular field in the screenshot where you have performed the action. So this way it will help you a lot to save a lot of time, because you got the screenshot, you got the test case complete in the XLS. You just simply have to upload into the bug management tool Jira or whatever you are using, or you just, if you are directly reporting it to the developer, you can simply tell them that these are the steps, fix the issue. Isn't it cool? Like it will save a lot of time for you. And you see that we didn't do anything extra. We just, like before starting your testing, we just click on this simple one button and we were doing everything. Other scenarios where it will be very useful, you see that today when we uh, whenever there is an issue in production, there is always a fight between developers and testers to blame each other, that this got missed because of you, this issue is happened because tester didn't test it. Tester will say this issue happened because developer didn't did the functional testing, basic testing. And you will not be having, most of the time we don't have the proof that we have done this testing. Like suppose tomorrow in production this start breaking, that click on test case studio is not working, or click on courses is not working, and manager will ask, have you guys tested that when you clicked on courses this was working or not? We will not be having any proof, though we have tested, but we generally don't have any proof, because that's like normal human being like nature, and it's not possible to document each and everything. We generally document only at very high level scenarios, or the some scenarios where we used to get the bug. We don't document each and everything. Agree, guys? So this test case studio will help you to document each and everything. Like you see that I have this in my documentation. Tomorrow when there will be issue in production, I can tell and I can show it to my manager that I clicked on courses and it worked absolutely fine. Here you can show that I have clicked on courses. This was the screen, and after clicking on courses, this screen came, and this is the proof that yes, courses button was working before releasing it to the production. So this way it will help a lot people to save a lot of time, and you will not need a developer, because developer also use this tool to before handling any release to you guys, like to the testers. They always use this tool to document their things, because generally whenever developer will be giving build to you guys, to the testers, they always do a basic round of testing. So for them also this helps a lot, because uh, they also get the documentation done, and they can say that it was working. Like they cannot just like say blindly that it was working on my screen, on my system. They have the proof that yes, it was working in their system, and now if it breaks in tester system, that's a different thing. Because generally whenever developers give a build to the tester, they always do a basic round of testing, and they always have to explain to the tester that this is how you need to test this functionality. So developers will also not have to explain this manually, that this is the steps to test this feature. Developer can simply copy paste these steps to the tester and tell them that this is how you need to test this functionality. So this way it will help you guys a lot to like not just you, it will help you and your team, your manager, and everyone to save a good amount of time. Okay, there was some question, let me take them. uh, Aditya is asking a second, what do you mean no proof? We use test management tool and have scripts for main functionality. If it is edge case, it can't be helped. Adit, I don't think like each. I mean, of course, you will be having proof. It depends person to person, and like what companies does. But at granular level, like at very ground level, we generally like, does you document each and every steps and each and every screenshot, like I just showed. That's, I don't think like that's possible to document for anyone, that you have clicked on here, it was working, you clicked on here, it was working, and then after that what was the screenshot. So so for that purpose it will be helpful. I'm not saying that of course nobody is documenting everything, of course you must be documenting, that's up to you. Fahad, do we have option to have dev tool screenshot too, or we have to just open it to while testing? So whenever you will be doing the testing, you can just open it, start the test case studio. It will taking the screenshot of your complete screen, so that way it will be helpful. Like it will be taking the screenshot of your browser window. Aditya, you were saying asking for the timestamp. So yes, like whenever you will be downloading the test case, it will be having the timestamp with that. So you can clearly see that this folder was downloaded at like this folder. So how it used to download the test case, like let me download this test case and show you. So I have downloaded this test case, which was started like from the domain name, the website from where it was started, the test case. So you see the domain name Google, and after that timestamp is there. So yes, it used to have the timestamp. If we will add the timestamp here with each and every step, that doesn't make sense. So your folder name will be having the timestamp. So you will be knowing that I have done this testing on 24th of April, 8:24 morning. So this is the timestamp is already there. So yes, that feature covers there. Where will be screenshot be saved? It will be like once you click on download, it will saved in your local. Okay, so another question must be that is it safe to use Test Case Studio? Will this screenshot will be saved with me or in the tool? No, it is absolutely in your local. This used to run offline in your local, there is no cloud server to save this data or this screenshot in the cloud. So I will not be getting any information, or tool will not be getting any information. This is absolutely runs in your local. And in fact, like in Chrome Store also, you can see that it runs offline. So do not worry about that. This is absolutely safe and secure, and all data is there with you. So this runs offline. Okay, so I guess lots of questions, other questions are there. They all will be covered here. Let me just explain more about it. And there are not just these features, there are a lot many features. So let me explain one by one. So here you see that each and every steps are editable, like because sometimes you might not be satisfied with the like language or what it has generated. Let's say you don't want to have keep this all these things, whatever it is there. So you can edit each and every field. Just click on this and edit that, and then you can download here. So, and here, suppose you have missed any step, or you by mistake downloaded any step. Suppose this is scroll down. I didn't want to add these steps in my test case, so I can delete this step here. So you have option to delete any of the steps in between. If you want to add any step, like let's say you want to add a wait time or something, so you just click on this plus button here. So that way you can add a step here in between. Suppose here you want to add, let's say, wait for 5 seconds, so that you can add. If you want to suppose add a assert statement or verify statement, you just click on this here. So suppose after click on test case studio, you are expecting something or verified title of the page or something, that you can add it here. Basically, in short, you can add a step or delete a step. There is a data column here. This data column will be having your data, like what value you are entering in some field, what URL you are opening here, so that you can do here. This it is having the expected result column. This expected result column is coming blank because this is basically like what is your expectation after clicking on this. Let's say after clicking on the SelectorsHub, that website link, I'm expecting that my website should throw 200 like status code. Your expectation could be verify some element is visible after clicking on that or not. So this is like after clicking on something, what will be available. So expected result is always depends on person to person and requirement to requirement. So that is the reason expected result is coming blank. It's up to you whether you want to add or not. Then we have the Xpath and CSS Selector. So here you see that good thing is Xpath and CSS Selector is also getting generated for each and every possible steps. And they are very robust and unique Xpath and CSS Selector. So you can directly use it in your automation script. Now you notice that your manual steps are ready. Basically the manual test case is ready, this one. Your for automation script, Xpath and CSS Selector is also ready. So if you share this, suppose you are a manual tester, if you share this sheet with your automation tester, he will not have to waste any time to write the automation script or going back and forth to the browser to look for this, what is the XPath for this element, what is the XPath for this element. They have it right there in the sheet. So it will save a huge amount of time if you're writing the automation script as well for this test case. And you can just simply copy, or you can see that you have downloaded the sheet. So all the XPath and CSS Selector are there in the sheet. Not just XPath, because suppose you have copied this XPath, and if you go back to your like let's say IntelliJ or Eclipse, whatever you are using, you can paste them here, but you will have to type the command here, like with each and every element, whatever command you are using. So let's say driver.find element, this you will have to type. Suppose you don't want to type this command as well. Can I get the complete command thing? Yes. So there is set driver command feature. Turn on this toggle. Once you turn on this, you see that now everything is generated with command. Now you simply copy this, go back to your editor. Let me just delete this part. And you see that I have pasted it here. And now you see that driver.find element. Now whatever command is that you want to add that command, because command could be different for framework to framework, and what is the method you are using, so that you can add it here. Like let's say I want to send key some value here on this, that you can do it here. So this way you see that without doing anything, like what you did, before starting your testing, we just click on this logo here. We got the manual test case ready, we got the automation script ready, we got the screenshot ready. Just one click and everything is ready for you. You can simply download this whenever you want, like you can just complete your task and good work. What all other features? This is screenshot. So here you have the screenshot. Some questions was there that can we generate a screenshot for a particular step? Like because there are lots of many steps, screenshots are there. You don't want to take a screenshot for each and every step. So in that case, what you can do, let me show you it fresh actually. So here is a button. So in place of like, let's say you don't want to record, let's say your one test case has got completed, you downloaded this test case. Okay, now you want to record the new test case. So in place of like deleting step one by one or closing it or opening it again, you have this clear all recorded steps. So you can delete all. Now you see that all fresh is there. You can again start recording your testing here. So this is like, suppose first test case is done, I want to start new test case. So you can just delete all and you see that new test cases started recording here. So here you see that it is taking a screenshot for all the steps. Suppose you don't want to take a screenshot for now. So you can turn off this. Now you perform action here. It will not take this screenshot. So you see that it has not taken this screenshot here. Suppose you want to take the screenshot at certain point, you can turn on this. Now you click on, let's say I will click on this BootCamp. It should take the screenshot there, and it has taken the screenshot. So this way you can take the screen whenever you want to turn off, you can turn off, whenever you want to turn on, turn on. Here it is recording each and every step. Suppose you are at a particular situation where you don't want to like record these steps. You can pause this recording here, and now you see that if I will perform some action, let's say I go to practice page here. And here you suppose you are entering username and password, and like let's say you don't want to record them. So I have paused this recording here right now. So you see that those steps has not been recorded. But again, you want to record, like let's say I'm entering the company value and here I want to start resume my recording. You can click back here. Recording is started here. And now you see that it has recorded that step. Okay. So this way you can pause and resume the recording. You can also pause and resume the screenshot as well, like whenever you want. Suppose here you are seeing the steps, data, expected result, Xpath, CSS selector, screenshot columns. There could be a chance that you don't want to because you are writing in Selenium, you don't need CSS selector, suppose in that case, or you just write the Xpath. So can you hide this? I don't need CSS selector. Yes, there's a customized UI settings, or you can say that click to add or remove columns. Click on this. You don't need CSS selector, you hide this. You don't need expected result column, you can hide that. Now if you will download the test case, it will have the steps, data, XPath only. So that way it will be easy for you, and you will be having a neat and clean data in the UI as well. Whatever you need, that you can have it here. Here you see that XPath is generated with normalized space, class, and it could be like dynamic ID and all. Suppose you don't want to generate the XPath with and CSS selector with those attributes, like because in some cases class could be dynamic, ID could be dynamic. So in that case, you can just click on this filter here, set attribute filter. Someone is not on mute. Can you guys go on mute? Request you people, please, if you join back, keep on yourself mute. So here you see that here you have this text, ID, class name, attribute, shortcut. So before starting your recording, you can set this, like suppose you don't want with text, uncheck this. Now it will not generate with text. Suppose you don't want with ID, uncheck this, it will not generate with ID. So whatever attribute you don't want, like you feel that ID is dynamic for your application, so in that case you can uncheck this attribute before starting your recording, and then record, it will record that. So this is how you can use these other features of test case studio as well. When you are downloading this test case, it used to download with the domain name and the timestamp. Suppose you don't want with that and you want to change the name of the test case. You want to give the test case name before downloading. Just set the test case name here. Let's say I want test case name here, bootcamp 1, let's say. And now you download, it will download with this test case name. So you can set the test case name as well before downloading. Suppose tomorrow if you get any issue or something, you can always raise a bug here for test case studio. Like you feel that this feature is not working or something like that, you can always raise the issue here. I would request you guys, please add a review for test case studio. This will help me and encourage me to work more hard on this tool. You can also donate and help. If you need any support at any point of time, you can check out these links here, and this will help you guys a lot. And always you can check out the change log, like what new features, what new changes come here in test case studio. So you can just click on this. It will take you to the change log page of test case studio. So you would be able to see the change log, that what new changes has come here. So that way you will see it here. You can always refer this tutorial for the latest changes, because what I'm explaining today, tomorrow of course there will be new releases, new feature will be coming on test case studio. So you can always check out this test case studio, that how to use this feature and what are those features if you get any doubt, so that you can check it out here. So this is the test case studio, which will help you guys a lot to save a huge amount of time. Okay, so again I will take some of the questions. So I guess great that you guys, Fahad is also answering the questions. So good that you guys are helping each other to answer the questions. Not sure why this whenever. Okay. So copy and paste, export test cases from test case studio. Numbering should be there. Yes, it will be there. Is editable. So post download you can add it. Yes. Answer. Adit, no, I mean timestamp in a screenshot. Yes, Adit, when you will be downloading the screenshot in your system, that will always be having the timestamp, that will always be having the time with you. I guess that is the basic thing. Guys, come on. Like when you will be downloading the screenshot or anything in your system, that will always be time will be there. So that's like, I guess, Adit, very basic thing you are asking. So is Test Case Studio plugin available for Firefox browser? Yes, it's available for all the browsers. So you can always see that for whichever browser you want. But I would always recommend that check it on Chrome, because Chrome has a lots of other feasibilities, and Chrome is latest. So there could be a chance sometime that not all the features and everything will be available on Firefox. But I used to keep trying to get all the features on all the browsers. Are the XPath shown in the XPath columns are reliable like selectors so that we can directly? Yes, Venkat, all the XPath and CSS selectors are like in test case studio. Basically the XPath and CSS selector algorithm is same as the SelectorsHub. So behind the scene it is using the SelectorsHub, XPath and CSS selector generation logic. Raj Anand is asking, does this tool can be downloaded on all systems, or when we log into some client server and then due to some restriction it will not be available? So you generally, like, you can install this in all the systems, there will not be any restrictions. So, but yes, sometimes clients in some client servers there will be like software restrictions. So like, let me make it clear, guys. Generally I have found it like people used to think that browser plugins are not allowed in some client server. In client servers, guys, only those software are allowed which they want you to use, whatever is required for them in their company or in for their purpose. It's not just extension. Like suppose I'm working on a banking company, there will be not all the softwares they will allow. For each and every software whatever I want to use in the banking company or any company, I will always have to take an approval from the admin. So same goes for the browser plugins as well. So we will have to give a proof of concept to them that yes, this tool is required for our purpose, for our productivity, for our company. So that is same thing. Like it's not just a browser extension that it will be blocked. All the softwares are blocked in every company. Company allowed, company approved only those softwares which they want to use. But yes, this is a sad reality that we just say about this about like plugins only. Does our company will allow like Selenium, Cypress? No, we have to like give them a proof of concept that this software we want to use. Then only they approve. Sometimes we don't get to know because admin and like higher management already whitelist some of the tools that these are required, so we will use them. So yeah. Thank you. You guys can share it with your team and your colleague. This will really help them a lot. Is there any chance to get all the screenshot in Word file other than Excel? So yeah, in future I will add this feature. But yes, generally right now it is downloading in a separate folder. What is dynamic XPath? Is there how to filter dynamic IDs? I will come to that in later. Dhrumil Soni. For now, you can use online editor tools to convert all PNG to Word file. In future, you might see this feature. We will keep adding these features. So generally, sometimes like if we add lot many features like this conversion, that conversion in the tool, then tool becomes like really heavy and non-useful. And then there will be like multiple steps will be required that select this, select that, like select first XLS or Word or PDF. Then people start getting irritated sometimes. So that is the reason, like as if you keep the in the tool, if you keep the limited functionality but very useful, that's where people use it a lot. But if you will have a lot many features, that first it start asking for PDF or Excel or Word or this and that and blah blah. So that's where people start getting confused. So yeah. But yes, anyways, we will have this feature, more features in future. Okay, so that was the test case studio, guys. Okay, cool. We will take a break like after another 15-20 minutes. So if you guys like if I forget to take the break, you guys can let me know that Sanjay, we need to take a break because this session will be little long. So now we have just seen that what all features were there, like we can convert the actions performed on the web application into plain English sentences, all those things, all those features are there. Now let's learn about SelectorsHub, how this can help you to learn all about Xpath, CSS Selector, and how it can help you in your day-to-day work in your like real time in company, and how it can help you to become an expert in Xpath, CSS Selector, WebElements, Shadow DOM, and couple of other things. Before that, like I was thinking to like let's take this quiz here, and this will be like really helpful, and from then I will help you to learn all these things. So first we'll take this quiz. So from this quiz, a lot of questions will arise, lots of concept will come in picture, and that we will see. And also guys, do not miss the end of the session, because like don't leave in between, because you will be learning a lot of things, and I will be also launching some of the new features and new innovation today, which will really help you guys a lot to save a good amount of time and in learning as well. So for quiz, just go to this page here. Let me share the link with you guys. So here you take this, open this link guys, and you can fill these information like here, selectors. So fill this and follow the steps with me. Please fill the correct information, because you will be getting your certificate for this bootcamp in this email ID, whatever email ID you will enter, and the name will appear in the certificate. So please enter the correct information here. Yes, Jihad, you can have it. Yes, this selectors will help you to generate XPath for all the web elements in a page. After filling this information, just click on next, and you will be here on this page. So let me know guys, once you are on this page, then we will continue to solve these problems. Don't miss this, guys. And I would request take this quiz from the like laptop or desktop, because there will be some questions which we will have to solve through the laptop. I'm sure like most of you have read my instruction before taking this, before joining. There I have mentioned that you take it from the laptop.
What if we don't know automation, Sanjay?
That's a different question. We will come to that later in the Q&A section.
Okay.
Yeah. Is everyone there on this page? I see some of you have joined from the mobile, so I'm not sure how you will manage that. Okay, oops, my screen was unshared. Let me share it. Okay, cool. Yes, Sudhir, that I guess by mistake it got unshared. It's shared, I guess. Okay, so as per you guys, like what exception will Selenium throw on performing click on an element which has zero interactable area in UI? First, I want you guys to answer, and then I will explain all of them, like later. Viswas is saying third option, non-interactable exception, and everybody is saying that only. So yes, that's the correct answer. Uh, which selector can work for shared DOM elements? Dhrumil is saying fourth one, fourth one, fourth one. All are saying fourth option. Which selector can work for shared DOM elements? Okay, so let me show you guys here. Let's go to SelectorsHub.com website, and here we have the practice page. If you guys have never used this page, I would suggest all of you guys that do try to automate this page. So those who are new in automation, those who are learning, use this page to learn. Try to automate, because this has the world most complex automation web scenarios. If you are able to automate them, then you are really expert in automation. So this is the page. So let me just inspect this element and try to inspect this. So this is basically inside Shadow DOM. If you inspect this, you will see here shadow root open. So this is inside Shadow DOM. Now, if you see that here it is saying that this which selector can work for Shadow DOM elements. So actually, like what you guys are saying, fourth option, second option, Adit saying CSS. So I didn't find the answer yet. Anyone correct answer yet? Okay, yes, I will talk about the Shadow DOM. Yes, I will talk about that. Of course, I will show you each and everything about Shadow DOM. Okay, so right now let me tell you that Shadow DOM doesn't support XPath, so, and all these are XPath format. So the answer will be the first option, which is CSS Selector. So here, this is the option. I will again explain these all through SelectorsHub, that if you will not be having Sanjay Kumar in front of you or with you, or not, or any expert with you, then how you can learn each and every question, each and every concept direct through SelectorsHub. And that is the reason I'm calling SelectorsHub a learning guide of XPath and CSS Selector. Let's click on next, and we'll see other question. Three more questions are there. So this will actually arise a lot of curiosity and the questions. So to solve this question, which is the correct XPath for integration with respect to add-ons? So to solve this question, please open this link into the new tab. And here, click on this Google button. And then from there, you can select any of the Google account, and then it will land you guys to this page. So let me know once you guys are on this page, then we will solve this question. Let me know once you all are here on this page. To be on this page, you have to open this link into the new tab, then click on that Google button, select any of your Google account, and then you will come to this page. If it asks for any kind of setup, you can skip that. Is everyone there on this page? Fahad, what are two options? Codeless and with code. You can choose any of them, and then you will, is it asking for any setup? You can just skip that, and then you can come onto this page. There must be a skip option. So you see that other people are able to reach here. I will wait for another 30 seconds and then we'll start. Great, just skip that and then you will be here on this page. So all are here now. Cool. Now you see that here, the first option is this. Let me copy this. So generally, like suppose if you are not using SelectorsHub, so right now I will show you guys these question and explain without SelectorsHub. So suppose we generally how you all used to verify that you open console, you do control app, you open DevTools in Elements tab, you do control app for command app, and then you paste your XPath and then verify. So it is showing 0 of 0, right? So this is not working. So for sure, this is not the answer. Now select the second one, copy this, paste this XPath here. So it is highlighting. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Hit enter. It is saying that yes, this is the XPath 1 of 1. Fine. So this could be one answer. And the answer question is, what is the XPath for add-ons with respect XPath for integration with respect to add-ons? Let's select third one. It is showing 0 of 0. Okay, so this is not the answer. Let's select the fourth one. It is also showing 1 of 1. So guys, which one is the answer here? This is also finding 1 of 1. This is also finding 1 of 1. Adit is saying second option. Second option. Yes, correct, guys. Second option, because this is the XPath for integration with respect to add-ons. This is the XPath for add-ons with respect to integration. Cool. But here we didn't learn yet that why this was 0, why this was 0. Was it actually 0 or what is something wrong there? That we will learn later. I will come back to this question again. Which is the correct format of XPath here? Which one is the correct XPath, guys? Everyone is saying 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yes, I wanted to hear this. Viswas is saying both. Yes, both the answers are correct. Both the formats are correct. So if you copy them here and let's say you paste it here, it is finding some of the options. Let's say you copy this here, paste it here, it is showing 1 of 1. But is it actually 1 of 1? Is it XPath match or what this is? This is not clear yet. Okay, but answer both are correct. Format both are correct. I will explain them little later once we will be in selectors of exercise. Can we write selectors for closed shadow DOM elements? No, no, no. Yes, we cannot write. Correct. So we have solved these questions. Venkat, you are saying that yes, through a workaround. No, we can automate through workaround, but we cannot write selectors for shadow DOM elements. That is a workaround to automate, not the workaround to write the selectors. So answer is no. Okay, so for now we have solved all the questions. I will explain them that how selectors will help you to learn each and every option, each and every questions that. So okay, for now you can submit this and here you can view your score. If you guys would have scored like 9 out of 12, 75%, you will get the certificate in your inbox. And if someone has missed this certification, missed this quiz, I would request you all that please take this quiz again. And in fact, you can refer it to your team as well. They can also take this quiz or your colleague. So this will help them a lot to learn lots of good things. Okay, now we have seen these questions and like everything. So we will come back to this. I will explain each and everything that why this option was not there and how this, like, without me, how you will learn that what is wrong there in other options. Cool. Okay, now we will learn about SelectorsHub. So what is SelectorsHub and how this is helpful? SelectorsHub is again a free browser plugin which will help you guys to learn and write each and every kind of XPath, CSS selector, different kinds of web element, and all those things. From where you can download SelectorsHub, how you can get this in your browser. Again, just go to SelectorsHub.com, go to homepage here. Here you will find this all these download links. So for whichever browser you want, you can download. Let's say we want for Chrome. So we'll start with Chrome. Here you see that add to Chrome button. Just click on that. Add extension. Once you add it, I would request that you restart the browser or you can just like open new tab. Here you see that the SelectorsHub logo is not yet there. So you can pin it to toolbar. Now you can find it here. SelectorsHub doesn't open the same way that Test Case Studio, you just click on logo and you get it. Here, if you will click on logo, you will find a couple of instruction, but it will not open. This is basically instruction how to use SelectorsHub and other important link if you want, so that you will get it here. Okay, so for now we can close this. We can close this, and we will open let's say new website, new page basically. Open your website into the new page. So where you will find SelectorsHub, just right click on inspect. On the left side, you will see this elements DOM. On the right side, you will find it here. A couple of tabs will be there like styles computed and all, and then there will be two arrow here. So if you click on them, SelectorsHub will be the last tab. Select this, and this is how it will open. Okay, so this is how it will open here. Now, this is the UI of SelectorsHub which you used to see. So here, if you see that the element which you have inspected, here the element inspected element will for the inspected element, you will see all possible selectors are generated here. And so you can you can see that css selector is there, xpath is there, index xpath, other icons are there, more features are there. Here you can write the xpath. So this all I will explain each and everything one by one. So do you guys want to take a break now, or we can take it later as you guys suggest? Like, it's been 1 hour. If you guys want, we can take it now. Okay, so like mostly people saying take for 10 minutes. So, okay, sure, sure. We can take a 10 minutes break and we will be back by 9:10. We will be back. And I would request you guys be ready. I would love to take a selfie at the end of the session. So guys, be ready to turn on your cam at the end of the session. So yeah, because some will be in sleeping mode. So just requesting whoever wants to turn on the cam at the end, you can turn on. Rest all good. Okay, guys, so we will be back in 10 minutes. Thank you. Hi Moria, is it asking again like you are already joined? So is it asking for session ID or meeting joining ID?
No, I joined in phone actually. Now I thought of joining in from laptop.
Okay. So same link it should work. Just click on the link from the laptop.
Yeah, it's asking enter a name or
Name,
valid.
just enter your name. You enter your name and enter.
This session room is invalid. Please check your invitation and try again. It's the error is that.
Mm, I think 1 second. Yeah, let me just check it 1 second. Oh my God, this got too much. Access code is this, like if it is asking for the access code, try this access code.
Yeah, it's working. Thank you.
Sure, good. Let me know guys if everybody is back, we can start resume.
Will now be recorded.
Are you guys back? Great. Okay. Cool. So, uh, great. I'm sure like most of you must have got the certificate. So don't forget to share that on LinkedIn, and you can feel free to tag me and Selectors up there. So this will help people to let everyone. This will help people to know about Selectors Hub, Test Case Studio, and this will help them to learn new things. And more people can join, like because I used to keep hosting these bootcamps, so it will help people to learn such tools and innovation. Great. Okay. So Selectors Hub, we have installed this, and we have seen that where we can find and how you can open this. Cool. Now, how you can write the XPath and CSS selector, your own XPath and CSS selector in the Selectors Hub here. Sachin is asking how to get certificate. You have taken this quiz along with us, right? So if you will score 75% in the quiz, you will get the certificate. If you haven't taken the quiz, please take that quiz again. Okay, so suppose we have to write an XPath or selectors for this element. So what you have to do, you just inspect the element. Let's say you want to write this XPath for this element, user email, sorry, this entered email box. Okay, so here you just have to start typing in SelectorsHub, and you will see that it will work like in a smart editor. A smart editor means where you start typing and you start getting the auto suggestion. So here you just start typing, and the very basic things you must be knowing that how to write XPath. So generally the formula of writing XPath is // tag name @attribute name is equal to attribute value, right? So you just start that, and here you see that you got this in the auto dropdown along with their occurrences, and it is suggesting that this is XPath thing. And you see, as soon as you start type open square bracket, you will get all the permutation combinations of attribute value along with their occurrences. Like this one is one matching node 111. And if you scroll down, you will see that, okay, if you will choose this option, there will be two matching nodes. So in fact, you will not have to waste time to type complete thing, as well as you need not to hit and try that, see how many matching nodes will be there if I will use this attribute, if I will use this attribute. You will not also have to type the like complete attribute name and attribute value. You can just simply select this and hit enter. So this way you would be able to write your own XPath within few seconds. While if you type your XPath here in dev tools, like this way, generally we used to write, I'm sure you all will agree that you write like this way. As soon as you type here, it used to go up and down. Then you again have to inspect the element. Are you guys doing this way? And then you type here, again you will type something, it will go up and down. Again you have to scroll, inspect. So just to write one XPath, we have to scroll multiple times. We have to select the value, copy, paste, and type. This used to take a lot of time. So this way in SelectorsHub, you can quickly build that. You see how fast it will be. Neither your DOM is going up and down and you are done. So this way you can quickly write your own XPath in SelectorsHub within few seconds. Sachin, do not worry about the certificate. Let's focus on these concepts. You will get the certificate. Don't worry about that. I will help you if you haven't got that. So just for now, I would suggest all of you just focus on what I'm teaching. Leave that certificate part aside. You will get that later. Don't worry. So this is how you can write your own XPath. Cool. Now, what if like I want to write a CSS selector? So you just start typing CSS selector. If you are writing with ID, so how we write ID? You use hash. So you see that if ID value is there, it will automatically suggest that. If you want to write with class, you just type dot, and then it will suggest you. So you must be thinking that how we will get these concepts, that what is how to write XPath and CSS selector, how to like what is the formula of writing XPath, different kinds of XPath and CSS selector, because you see that one formula is that you just start typing the tag name. This is also another CSS selector type, and then there are like different formulas. So here permutation combinations of ID, like here ID dollar, ID star, ID cap is there, ID equal to equal value cap is there. So if you want to write CSS selector with the contains value, with the end value, with the starting value, or exact matching value, so those all options you will be getting it here. And if you want to learn each and every detailed concepts of XPath and CSS selector, you can anyways always take the course here. There is a free course available by me on XPath and CSS selector. So that also you can take. If you want to really go in deep and advanced, you can check out this course. So this will help you. Okay. So you see that this is how you can complete your CSS selector as well. You just start typing, you see that how quick we can write the CSS selector, how quick we can write the XPath. So this way you can write your XPath CSS selector in SelectorsHub really quick. Cool. Now, can we write the like what all other features here as a smart editor? So here you see that when you will be typing your XPath like this, if you want to add more conditions, you can add these more conditions here. Let's say ID, then you want to add one more attribute. Likewise, you can add it here. Now, suppose you want to say write a new XPath. So generally, whenever we have to write a new XPath, what we used to do, we used to copy this XPath. We will open a like editor somewhere, and we will paste this value, isn't it? This is how you used to do. And then you write a new XPath here in browser. Suppose if I have to, like I'm teaching you guys. So what we generally do, like we write new one XPath, then we copy this value. Then I will copy this value, paste it there. Then I will delete this. Then only I can write a new XPath or something like, let's say I want to show you an example of CSS selector. First, I had to delete that value. Now, again, if I have to write a new XPath, new CSS selector, and I don't want to lose this value, so we will copy this value and paste it here. and then come back. Then I will delete this. Then I will write something new and I will show you that this is another example of CSS selector, isn't it? This is how we used to do. You need not to save this value somewhere in editor, copy paste. No, you need not to do that. You can directly save this value here in SelectorsHub. There's a plus button, click on this, the value is saved here. And now now you can delete this value. I can write a new XPath here. Now, if I want to access the previous one, I can get it from here. So now we need not to save value anywhere else. Right there in SelectorsHub, you can save the value. So this way it will save your time. Like you have multiple values, you can keep saving here. Whenever you want, you can get those values. Like now I want to edit this value, I can click on that and that will copy paste here. I can change anything and verify. So this feature will save your time. So this is basically a smart editor which has lots of things in it as an editor which will help you. Cool. Now suppose you are writing an XPath and CSS selector. So for an example, let me take this one here. So sometimes, like, can you guys let me just copy this value from here and paste this value here. Hit enter once again. So here I pasted this value. It is showing 0 of 0. Okay. Can anyone tell me that is it actually 0 or something else? Because generally whenever we see a value as 0 of 0, we always think that this is a wrong XPath. So can anyone tell me, is it actually 0 or this is invalid? Because whenever we see 0 matching node, we always think that this is not correct and we start writing new XPath. So can anyone tell me that is it actually 0 or this is a like is it actually 0 or this is invalid XPath? If it is invalid, then what is invalid? Correct. Venkat is right. There is one single quote is missing. But in DevTools, now you guys will agree with me that whenever we see, I mean, as a human being, what we have learned so far, and this is a human nature, that whenever we see 0 of 0 in DevTools, we always think that this is a 0 matching node, and without thinking in our mind will not think that this could be invalid as well. Agree? What we will start doing, oh, this is finding 0 of 0, we will delete this value and we will try to add some other attribute. Agree, guys? We generally do that. I mean, I'm talking about as a reality. If I will be seeing 0 of 0, I will immediately start delete that attribute and I will add another attribute and think that, okay, let me try user. This ID is equal to user ID. And this is finding 1 of 1. I will be happy. Oh, I have written 1 of 1 XPath. This is correct. But that was wrong because that was not finding 1 without thinking that that could be something wrong. Now let me paste that XPath here in SelectorsHub. So actually this was placeholder. From here I have pasted here. So let me copy and paste that XPath here and hit enter. This will help you to learn that what is wrong in your XPath. So it is telling you that this is invalid XPath, single quote is missing. So now quickly we can fix this and see this is showing one matching node. So this way, if you will be making anything wrong in your XPath, it will help you to learn about that concept. Anything wrong you will be doing in your XPath, like let's say for an example, this XPath, if I copy, let me do this. It is showing 1 of 1. This is actually an interview question. It is showing 1 of 1. Now, can anyone tell me that is it actually 1 of 1 XPath? Is it correct XPath? Venkat is saying no. Jihad is saying yes, yes. So most of you are thinking that this is correct XPath and it is finding 1 of 1. Good. And in fact, like if you will ask me, I will also say that this is correct. With the bare eyes, we always say that this is correct XPath. Let's copy this and paste it in SelectorsHub. Trust me, not you. In fact, I'm also will not be able to ever tell this that this is a correct XPath or wrong XPath, because with the bare eyes it will be really difficult. I will tell you why. Now you see, hit enter. It tells you that XPath doesn't support tilted code. Use vertical code. I mean, of course, you see that without. I mean, with the our eyes, with the bare eyes, we cannot identify whether this is a tilted code or vertical code. So I will remove this tilted code and make it vertical. Okay. Now this is a valid XPath because SelectorsHub is not highlighting in red color. Okay, let me paste this XPath here. It is showing 0 of 0. This is correct. It is also showing 0 of 0. This is correct. In which situation you get this kind of thing? Let me show you. Many a times what happens, you write this XPath. Let me use this XPath. You have written this correct XPath. Where you make such kind of mistakes, I'm telling that I'm going to tell that in real time. So copy this XPath. Many times this happened that what we used to do, we copy and paste the XPath from our script here in Notepad, in different Notepad or any text editor. Many times we do. We don't always open SelectorsHub. We always don't open dev tools to edit something in XPath, right? So we do something like this. We open, like, let's say I want to make it like contains or something, or I want to edit something in XPath. So we do some edit here. And as soon as you do the edit in your XPath here, you will realize, let's say if I add E here, you see that, notice that very carefully, you will have to notice that this is the value here. You see that I add, focus on this vertical code. Right now, this is correct. I hope this must be visible now. And now you would be able to see that this is vertical. Now I add a space here. Okay, now I add E here. I mean, any alphabet I can add. You see that vertical code become tilted now. So this become now invalid XPath. Many a times this happened that people think that in our UI some text or ID got changed, so I can change that ID value. They will use this XPath in their like code, and script start breaking when they execute the script, and that's where it becomes really complicated. It becomes like really difficult to figure it out that their code single quote has got automatically updated from vertical to tilted one. So that's where in this kind of situation, SelectorsHub will help you to save you from such kind of mistakes if you will verify your XPath in SelectorsHub. If you will verify your XPath in DevTools, you will always be seeing that, okay, this is finding 0 matching node or it's not finding any matching node. But that will not tell you that what is wrong. So this will help you to learn this concept that what wrong you are doing. If you are doing anything wrong, this will help you to understand that concept. Apart from like making any kind of like any error, it will also help you what wrong you are doing. Let me teach you more such things. So basically, I'm showing you guys how SelectorsHub will help you to become expert in writing such kind of XPath, CSS selector, and automatically help you to understand and saving you from making such mistakes. Because when you will this XPath, what wrong we have done it here, first you will execute this script, execution script time, then you will be figuring out what is wrong in your XPath. That takes a lot of time. So if you waste 2-3 minutes, that is also huge. If you waste 5-10 minutes, that is a huge time value for you. So saving you from making such mistakes, Selectors will help you a lot. Okay, now this is the XPath we have written. This is correct. You see, if you make any mistake, it will help you that after closing square bracket, what is allowed, what is not allowed. You can read that okay, this is the message, what I can do, add tag name after forward slash. If you make any mistake, if you want to explore, learn that what is possible, what is not possible, this will help you that after close square bracket, what is allowed, what is not allowed. Because there is no book, there is no blog which can tell you this XPath is like whether this semicolon is allowed or not allowed, whether this is allowed or not allowed. Nobody can teach you. If you cannot Google this XPath that this is correct XPath. Is it like what is wrong in this XPath? You cannot Google, and you will not be having always expert along with you. So this smart editor will help you. If I ask you question that who makes you expert in any programming language, book, blogs, tutorial, or any training, or smart editor, we all can learn basic concepts from any book, blog, or any training. I cannot teach you, like if you take expert training from me, I cannot make you expert. I can teach you the basic concepts, the basic things, but I cannot make you expert, right? Because in XPath, in Selenium, there will be like hell lot of functions which nobody can teach you. But when you will use a smart editor, and as soon as you type here something like let's say input, and as soon as you hit this open square bracket, that's where it will help you to learn, okay, these many types of XPaths are possible. If I will be teaching you guys, I can hardly show you 2-3 types of XPath format. I cannot show you all these 100 types of XPath format, right? If you will be taking Selenium training from me or from someone, or you are reading a book, people can tell you, teach you this driver dot find element method, right? But one cannot teach you each and every functions of WebDriver. Today, if they will teach you something, tomorrow, suppose Selenium 5 will come, Selenium 6 will come, nor books are going to getting updated, nor blogs are going to get updated, not YouTube videos, Udemy course, everywhere, not all those are going to get updated with each and every functions. So from where you will get this information? And nor we all are going to read the Selenium documentation or SelectorsHub documentation. Nobody used to read. But when you will type this in the smart editor, that's where you get to know, oh, these many APIs has got added, these many new things are there. So this smart editor helps you to become expert in any programming language, any technology. Suppose if you are writing automation script in this notepad, let's say, if I will be writing here, first of all, it will take a whole lot of day for me to write just one test case in the notepad, like driver dot. Now I will have to type this find element, thinking that whether E is capital or small, where is that or what. So this is not possible to learn from the writing the thing code in notepad, and this is a too much time taking. Similarly, when you write XPath and selectors here in DevTools, first of all, it used to give a wrong information as well. Or on the side note, it takes a too much time, and it is something like writing code in the notepad here. But here, when you will write in SelectorsHub, this helps you to learn these concepts. For a second, I would say you guys, don't consider me as a creator of SelectorsHub. Otherwise, it will feel you guys will feel that I'm doing the promotion. But whatever I will be teaching, those will be the fundamental concepts. And yes, this is an innovation. So it is. So it is. And now SelectorsHub has been widely accepted, guys. And in fact, like Selenium main co-creator and main those who guys are, I would say that main contributor of Selenium itself are recommending SelectorsHub, and they are teaching about SelectorsHub. So if you see this, Titus Fortner is also going to teach SelectorsHub in their workshop. So that is, you see that he is the Selenium Ruby. He used to create the Selenium Ruby package. So he is going to teach SelectorsHub in his workshop. So Selenium creators are also recommending SelectorsHub in their workshop. So yes, it is widely accepted, and now everybody is recommending SelectorsHub. So you can trust that yes, it is good and it is helping. It's not anymore like we shouldn't be using the Xpath plugin and all. That's the wrong concept. Okay, cool. So this will help you to learn these concepts, and like both selectors are, CSS selector, like you star dollar, you might not have heard about these concepts. This is star dollar cap, but when you will type it here, it will help you to learn these things. Yes, Hardik, I will show you that iframe and hidden element. Okay, so this was the smart editor part where you can write your own XPath CSS selector. It will help you to understand, learn these concepts of writing XPath. If you're doing something wrong, that will be. So like this, if I write this XPath, sometimes you must have heard this function starts with is there in XPath, but suppose you want to write an XPath with ends with value. So if you see that this XPath, if you write it here, this will help you. Selectors will help you to learn this concept as well. That ends with is a XPath 2.0 function. Which browser doesn't support XPath? Use XPath 1.0 function. So all these kind of corner cases is also covered in Selectors, which it will help you. Okay, now, okay, so that was the smart editor part. We have seen that you can save the value as well. Now, here you see that it is showing you auto-generated part as well, auto-generated XPath selector. So you can turn off that. Suppose you don't want to see them, and you are supposed taking an interview of a person, and you want them to write their own XPath and CSS selector, and you don't want to see them these values here. So you can turn off this toggle. Now they can just write their own XPath and CSS selector or whatever. They can verify it here. Suppose you don't want to see these auto suggestion as well. You just want to write by yourself. You don't want to see them. So you can turn off this toggle as well. And now you see that it is not showing those values. So this way it will, now it is absolutely like this. But the good thing is that here it will show you that proper error message what you are making, and it will show you the correct count of XPath and CSS selector match, because DevTools doesn't show you always the correct count of CSS selector and XPath match. I will also give you a proof of concept that where it is not showing, why it is not showing, why it is not the correct platform to verify XPath and CSS selector. Cool. Now here is a button. You must be seeing this AA button, this one. So suppose you want to write XPath and CSS selector, case insensitive XPath and CSS selector. Because if I write this one, you see that Q is capital here, and hit enter, it is showing one matching node. What if I make it small and hit enter, it is showing 0 matching node? So in this case, how can we make it case insensitive? There is a huge XPath function, translate function, which used to convert XPath case insensitive. So nobody used to able to remember that. Selectors will help you this feature. Just click on this, it will make case insensitive. Now hit enter, this is matching. Similarly, like if you are writing a CSS selector and you want to make that a case insensitive, you just inspect the element. Let's say this one here, and we write a CSS selector here, this one, and if I make this as capital and hit enter, it is showing 0. Now you click on this button here, it will make it case insensitive. So this way you can make your XPath and CSS selector case insensitive, as well as you can generate case insensitive XPath and CSS selector. Just click on this button. So this is the button to generate case insensitive XPath and CSS selector in SelectorsHub. Cool. I will explain all these features one by one. And you guys must be thinking that how can we generate the relative XPath. Relative XPath means relative XPath to other element. I will show you that also automatically you can generate in SelectorsHub. That is also possible. Before that, you see here in SelectorsHub, there's an attribute filter feature. Like if you let me inspect this element. So you see if I inspect this element, let's say Google search, it is generating XPath with this like class and name, and this class looks like pretty much dynamic. So in that case, SelectorsHub will have this alert icon here and letting you know that class looks dynamic. Uncheck the class checkbox, because nobody can tell you that this XPath is dynamic or static. Only you will have to decide, because there is no algorithm in this world which can tell ABC123 is dynamic or static. It could be dynamic for you, it could be static for me. So in that case, it gives you the opportunity, it gives you the option that uncheck this one. So here it is generating with this. I can uncheck this. Now it is not generating with class. So these are attribute filters. If any element you inspect and if it is generating with that particular attribute and you don't want with that, you can uncheck those. Or if you want to generate with any particular attribute, that you can pass it here. Like here, suppose I want to generate with area label. So I can pass this area label here. Hit enter. It is generating with area label now. So if any attribute, like if you pass your attribute name here, and if that will be available in the DOM, it will generate with that. If not, then it will go with something else. So this is how you can generate the XPath with your own attribute or any particular attribute. If you want to like learn more about this feature, that what is the preference SelectorsHub is doing behind the scene, you can always check out this tutorial. Also, with each and every feature here, SelectorsHub tutorial has been added for that. So you can always refer that, like in detail. If you forget any time that how to use this feature, you can check out this tutorial here. Cool. So this is how you can use this attribute filter. So in many situations, it is helpful. This feature is helpful where you will be in many companies these days, people used to introduce their own attribute like QA ID or data ID stable to write the stable automation. So in that case, this is helpful. Okay, then here now you see that if we have to, like suppose I have to enter value in these these fields here, inspect this element, inspected this, I copy this value here. Now I want to enter the value in this field, so I got the XPath, inspect, copy this, go back to your editor, I will paste this value here. So here you see that I am pasting this value, but I will have to type this command like driver dot find element. One second, let me just delete this unused code here, too much. So I got this XPath. I cannot use this XPath directly, right? We will have to type this command driver dot find element, then by dot XPath, and then we can paste this value. And then you can use this send keys or whatever. So you see that I have to type this command. Now, if I have to enter the password value here, I have to copy this value, go back, and then again we will have to type this command. So this is time taking. This is not a smart work. We are doing the automation. So if we are writing the automation, if we are automating the manual work of manual testers, then why we as an automation tester doing our work manually? We should be getting all these things automatically. Right. So in that case, can we get this complete command rather than typing this command again and again? Yes, we can get that complete command. Here, set driver command, click on this. Now you see that you're getting the complete command. Simply copy this and paste it. Now you see that how fast it will be. You just inspect, you copy and paste. You just inspect and copy and paste. this would be so fast. Now we are not doing, you just need to add the method. Like if you want to click, you can add the click. So this is the smart work. If you want to add send keys, you add send keys. This is how we are doing the automation. So this way you would be able to do it really fast. You must be thinking that I'm not using this driver.findElement command. Your command could be something else. Absolutely correct. You just hit enter. You will see, suppose you are using Cypress, you can select this command, cy.get, hit enter. You see that you got cy.get, cy.xpath. So whichever you are using, that you can use it. Copy this, go back. Suppose means you're writing in Cypress, you can use this. If you're using this page object model, you can use this add find by, click on this, hit enter. You will get this command. Copy this, paste it here. You must be thinking how it will take that value, like because for each XPath you used to write a keyword name, right? It will give you that keyword, correct keyword, like enter email. This XPath is for enter email field. Now if you inspect this password field, it will give you that password field XPath command. You see that? Enter password field. So it used to generate that keyword as well. So this way you can write the page object model. I'm sure many of you are using this one. So this way you can complete this as well. If you're using Selenium with Python, you might be using this kind of command, driver.find element. Let me know, guys, which one is you are using, which one of you are using. If you are using Playwright, you can use this one. If you are using find by XPath, you can use this one. If your command is not there in this these drop down options, so what you have to do, wherever you have written XPath in your command, just replace that with XPath value keyword. Suppose my command is something random, like my command is like this, and here in my command I have written here XPath, let's say // input something, and my command is something like this, all random. Okay, so you just copy this command, your command, paste it here. Wherever you have written XPath, replace that with XPath value keyword and hit enter. Now you see that we got this command. You can copy this and paste it here. So your command could be anything. This part, just replace this XPath with XPath value keyword. If you forget that how I have explained this, there is always question here, help icon. You can hover on that. You will see that what you need to do. Also, you just click on this. It will take you to the tutorial. You can watch that. So this way you can do your work really smart. Is it helpful, guys? Selenium with Ruby, Java, everything you can do. That's all possible, guys. So you need not to worry about that, what is not possible. Now, this is not yet that helpful, guys. I'm still not satisfied with this one because suppose I have to write a test case for all these headers. Okay, so what currently we will have to do? We will have to inspect this element. Suppose we have to write a locators page. Okay, so I can select this command. We have to write a locators page for all these elements. Guys, don't leave the session. Be with me till end of the session. You will learn so many things which will save too much time for you guys every day. Lots many tricks are there. So you see that suppose we have to write a locator space for all these header elements. Inspect this element. We got this. Happily I can copy this, paste it here. So this is my test case studio element. Okay, I will have to again inspect this element, copy this, go back, paste it here, come back, inspect another element, copy this, come back, paste it here. So you see that if I have to, like, suppose I have 50 element like this, every time I will inspect this, copy this, go back to editor, paste that, again come back, inspect that, copy that, go back to editor. Too much back and forth I'm doing. Can I get all these header commands in single shot so that my locator space will be ready within a minute, within few seconds? Yes, that is also possible. Now see, that is like real automation. So here on the right side, you see that third button is there. hover on this, click to generate automation code from or multiple selectors. Click on that. Now you see the real magic. Just start inspecting these elements and see in SelectorsHub, everything is getting automatically generated. Inspect only those elements for which you want to generate the selectors. Because if it will generate for all the web page elements, then it is no use, because you are not going to automate each and every element. There are millions of elements in a page. You just keep inspecting for whichever element you require, and you will see that it is all generating and you are all good to go. Now simply I will click on this copy button and go back to my editor and paste this. My locator page is freaking ready. So you see that my complete locator page, which might take a whole day for you guys to write this complete locator page, this will be done within a few seconds. And here you see that, just suppose this is my command. Now you want with driver.find element. Let's say you can select this one, hit enter. This command is ready. Now I can click copy all, just go back. Because in many situations, sometimes we have to write this very simple Selenium code or automation code. You can use this. Now simply I can add this here, send keys or click method, and I'm boom, done. Get text, let's say. So whatever you want, you just add that method. You just have to add that method, that's all. Then any command you can select, that is up to you. You must be having one question, Sanjay, how reliable these Xpath and CSS selectors are, which are generating by which are generated by SelectorsHub. Right. So if I will say that these are good and all, you might not trust. Let me show you the one who is a Selenium co-creator itself. The only extension I found that gives actually useful CSS selector on a right click and copy. So they are very much reliable. Now I will show you with a proof. So this is like what others saying. Now suppose this is an element. If you inspect this element, sorry guys. Yeah. So this is the element. Now if you right click and copy this XPath, let's say, and paste it here, you see that the XPath which is generated, this one, while XPath for the same element is generated by SelectorsHub is this. So you see the XPath which DevTools generate, that is like almost absolute XPath, and SelectorsHub generate almost relative XPath. Let me copy the CSS selector from here. Paste this one. You see such a long CSS selector it has generated, while you see the CSS selector which SelectorsHub generated. And I can give you the challenge that what XPath you will write, SelectorsHub will always give you better than that. Okay, so this way you can generate, and the XPath and CSS selectors are really reliable with the SelectorsHub. And that is the reason that millions of people are using SelectorsHub today, and so many people are using. And it's a review and ratings and users, it's all explained that yes, it is being used. Cool. So that's how you can generate the automation script and this complete code of SelectorsHub from the SelectorsHub. Okay, so yeah. Now you see that there will be certain elements which we are not supposed to automate, or which we are not supposed to like, how you will get the information that this element is correct or not, this element is like automatable or not. Okay, another thing, like if you are on this screen and if you want to go to home page again, you just click on that record button again, you will be back here. If you don't want to generate command from SelectorsHub like this one, you can also turn off this command. Also you see that whatever settings, like you have written set some attribute here, let's say QA ID or something, And you must be thinking that, will I have to set this command, this attribute each and every time? No, this is only once. You can, if you close this, next time when you will open SelectorsHub, all your settings will be saved there. So you will not have to do those settings again and again. You can customize SelectorsHub as per your requirement, and that will always be there. Okay, yeah. Now, let me for a second turn off this. You can also hide all these things, customize everything. Suppose we have an element, like you just inspect, let's say you inspected this password field, correct? This is absolutely automatable. All these selectors are there. You can scroll down, you will see all possible selectors and everything. If you inspect any element, if there will be something special about that element, SelectorsHub will tell you that alert. Input box is disabled, enable it to enter value. Now you see that you got this alert. So you will be knowing that this input box is disabled. So this will be helpful to save your time, right? Because you see that here, sorry. In general, what we generally do, we like we generally used to write this kind of XPath. We immediately start, as soon as we found one of one, we start using those XPath in our automation script. And when we execute, that's where we found that, oh, this is breaking. Because let me just for a second, if I hide SelectorsHub and if I ask you guys that I can write this XPath, this is correct XPath for this element, it is finding one of one. Can we use this XPath and enter the value in this field? I'm sure you all will say, yes, we can enter the value in this field. You can use this XPath. Until unless we will not execute this script and the script will not fail, we don't get to know that this element is disabled. I mean, I'm talking reality, but yes, if you will focus more, then that's where you will say that, yes, I can, we can say that, yes, this is disabled. So this will help with this kind of information. Like if you see that there was a quiz question, now I will take this quiz question along with this, like whatever I'm teaching you guys. So you see that the very first question was here, what exception will Selenium throw on performing click on an element which has zero interactable area? So you guys told that non-interactable exception, but people, those who have experience, those who have faced this in past, because it's not that you have learned from somewhere, you learn from when your automation script start failing. You learn these I mean, we all learn these exception when our code used to break. We generally don't learn these exception from somewhere by reading the book. These got in our mind when script start failing. But SelectorsHub will tell you this upfront that this exception is there. How? Let me show you. You see that there's this element here. If we have to automate this Slack element, how many of you agree with me that this a anchor tag here, it is having the class very long class href attribute, generally not recommended to use in XPath. Target is equal to blank, we will not use. We have the Slack text here, so we will write an XPath like this for this element to automate this Slack element, that /span text is equal to, and this is also an interview questions as well, guys. It is finding one of one. So how many of you agree with me that yes, we will use this XPath for this element because this sounds stable, as it has text Slack, rest both the element are having very long attribute and other stuff. So we will use this XPath generally. Right? I will not be mostly talking any ideal thing, guys. I will just, whatever I will discuss with you guys and whatever I will teach, I will try to make things real, like whatever we do in real time, not any ideal funda. So this is how we all will do. I will also do. I'm not like something that is expert or God that I will not do. I will also do this thing. But the problem with this XPath, it will not work because this element is in the DOM is not having any interactable area in the UI. How we will get to know that any element is having interactable area in the UI? When you hover on the DOM element here in the DOM, this used to highlight in the UI. So for a second, let me just copy this XPath. So you see that when you hover on A, it is highlighting that Slack complete icon. When you hover on this I, it is highlighting that part. But when you hover on this span, it is not highlighting anything in the UI. So this is how you can get to know that the DOM element which is there in the DOM is having any interactable area in the UI or not. So that's how you get to know. But generally, if we are not expert in DOM or in the web element, we will not get to know about it. So here, if you open SelectorsHub and inspect this element, you will get to know, you will not make this mistake. It will tell you upfront that this element is not interactable through Selenium automation as it is not visible in UI. And this is the XPath. So now you will not use this XPath because you know that it will throw in non-interactable exception. So this way it will help you in learning. It will help you in your time saving. Before, like you make a mistake, it will tell you, wait, don't make a mistake. And it's very obvious, like we cannot interact to something which is not visible. Like if I have to slap someone, that person should be here in front of me, then only I can slap. Like otherwise, like I will be slapping in the air. So if we have to click on some element, that element physically should be present. Then only we can touch or we can interact with that like element or human being. Without physical presence, we cannot interact. So if we have to automate, if we have to click on that element, that should be there. So that's how you will learn about these concepts. If any element will be like comment or something that like that, SelectorsHub, you just inspect SelectorsHub will tell you that this is comment and like selectors can't be generated for this kind of element. If you inspect this script, so it will also script tag. So sometimes what happens in interview, people ask such kind of tricky questions to understand, to know about you, whether you have a DOM knowledge or not, whether you would be able to work in real time or not. Because normal XPath and selectors, everybody can write. But when you would be able to handle such kind of situation, that's where you become expert. So selectors will help you to learn all these concepts, because not anybody cannot like teach, because you are inspecting this element, that element. Nobody can have this much time, nor you have expert all the time with you who can help us to learn, okay, this element is what kind of element, this element is what kind of element, what selectors, what XPath can be written, whether I can write XPath for that or not. So all those things you will be able to learn from here when you inspect this element. Cool. Great. Now, what if like suppose any UI change happen in your web application? So whenever there is a UI change happen, guys, generally all our XPath and selectors, like many XPath and selectors start breaking. So in that situation, how do you handle them? Like suppose any like this practice phase is there, supposed to, and I have written an automation script, and tomorrow I change the UI of this page. Okay, so in that case, my XPath and everything start breaking. And here I have written the script. In generally, like how do you verify? Like we used to verify XPath one by one. Like we copy this XPath and verify this way. Okay, I found this is working. I will not change that. I will let copy again another one, copy and paste here, hit enter. So this way we used to verify XPath. XPath and selectors, we have to verify one by one whenever there is a UI change. Are you guys agree with this point that whenever there's a UI change, our script start breaking, and actually like we don't verify. We used to run our script whenever it will break in whichever XPath. There we verify XPath and fix that one by one. And that used to take a lot of time. Like my UI got changed, XPath start breaking. So I will execute this, I will fail. See, okay, here it is breaking. I will copy that XPath, go to that page and verify. So this takes a too much time to verify XPath one by one. Can we verify all the XPath in single shot? of my script whenever there is a UI change. Yes, that is possible. You need not to copy this XPath one by one or paste in SelectorsHub, or sorry, like wherever you are verifying. So you need not to do that. You need not to waste that time, that much time doing that one by one. Simply you copy whole script, even with this import class statement, everything. Just copy whole script. Come back here in SelectorsHub. You have this smart maintenance, like this button. Click to verify multiple XPath. Click on this. There's a button. Click to paste all XPath. Click on this, and you paste your whole script here. First you have to go to that page from where you want to verify all the XPath, because this is like practice page selectors I'm trying to verify. So I should be verifying here on this page. I should not be verifying on Twitter, right? So paste your whole script here. Set the command again. Rule for the command is same, like whatever command you have, that, and replace XPath with XPath value keyword and submit. You will see that it will fetch all the XPath from my script, and it will show the results that this is one matching node, one, and all the XPath. If any will be zero matching node, it will show zero matching node. If any will be more than one, it will show. Then you can simply edit that XPath like this and verify here, fix that XPath, and then replace in your script. So this way you can verify your whole script in single shot whenever there is a UI change happen. And this will save tremendous amount of time for you guys. I'm sure you guys will love this feature. And if you want to get this, like you have verified all the XPath, okay, but now how to replace in my code? Will I have to like copy paste one by one without command? No. You can turn on this command and you got all with the command. You can simply copy this and paste it in your code. So this way you can save a really huge amount of time for you. Yes, Jiten, you can use this functionality like anywhere, wherever you want. Yep. And I would request you guys, whatever I'm teaching you and whatever you are learning, please spread the word about it. You can give this demo on Selectors or Test Case Studio to your student, to your colleague, your followers, because it's really difficult for me to take such kind of session for long, because I will be doing a lot more creative things and tool development, and not everybody will be aware about these things, and I cannot reach to each and everyone. So request all of you that please support, let the world know about these innovation and help them to save their time. Okay, this is nothing, you will see a lot more magical thing today. Now suppose we have certain dynamic elements. Many a times we are not able to inspect some kind of dynamic elements. Let me show you. If you see here on Flipkart website, let's say there are these electronics. Under this, there is a Bluetooth headphone, let's say. Now, if I right click here and click on inspect element, if I have to inspect this element, you see that we are not able to inspect that element because this is a dynamic dropdown. This used to disappear if my hover goes away from electronics. So in this case, how can we generate the selectors and how can we inspect this element? So in this kind of situation, there's a solution in SelectorsHub that you can generate the XPath. You can copy the XPath and selectors. You can right click and directly from the context menu, you can copy any of whichever required. Like let's say you want copy relative XPath you can right click and copy relative XPath. This is cool that you can simply right click and copy. In fact, like without opening SelectorsHub tab, you can directly copy the selectors value right from the context menu. So this also saves a lot of time. But I would always recommend that you open SelectorsHub and from there you take the values, because that way you learn all about the web element and everything. and you see the selectors value. Okay, so this way we can copy the XPath value and it will solve our purpose. We can copy and paste the value here in our script and we can use, that is fine. Okay, this is the XPath we have copied from SelectorsHub. This is the Bluetooth headphone. This is correct, fine. But still we are not able to see the DOM for this element. And now my requirement is that, no, I don't want to use that XPath which I copied from SelectorsHub. We need to see the DOM. There are multiple ways that, yes, you can say that we can press F12 and debug mode on. In certain situations that also doesn't work. So what is the permanent solution which always work, like in any kind of dynamic, such kind of dynamic elements? Like, because if you see that, if I refresh this page, you must be seeing this kind of bubble loader, how to inspect such bubble loaders as well. So we will see the solution. So here, open SelectorsHub. Now you see that here there's a debugger button, like which is saying turn on debugger. So here what we need to do, we need to click on this debugger button. We need to turn on this. Within 5 seconds, we have to make this element visible after clicking on that. Then SelectorsHub will pause that element and you would be able to inspect that. Let's see how. Let me click on this debugger button. After clicking, within 5 seconds, we will make this visible. Like, we will hover on this. Now you see that the Bluetooth headphone is paused. We can go here, we can click and inspect this element. You see that the selectors is generated for this element, and we are able to inspect such kind of dynamic drop down elements as well. Now you can inspect any of these elements here, and the selectors will be generated here. So this way you can inspect such kind of dynamic element and you can generate the selectors for them. Once you are done, you just refresh the page to resume the debugger, and then you can continue inspecting other elements. So this is how SelectorsHub will help you to inspect such kind of dynamic element, as well as you can generate the selectors for them. Now, how to inspect such kind of bubble loader, which is like which disappear immediately, right? So you see that these bubble loader, because this bubble loader appear when we refresh the page, and if we will refresh the page after clicking on the debugger button, debugger will resume and it will not pause. So in this situation, what we want in this situation, we want to start the debugger immediately. No, we cannot wait for 5 seconds, right? Because this debugger comes when we refresh the page. Sorry, this bubble loader comes when we refresh the page. So here we need to start the debugger immediately. Guys, you will have to focus on this concept a little bit, but it's very easy. So here basically we want to start the debugger immediately. As soon as the bubble loader comes, we need to start debugger. So what we will do, in place of 5 seconds, we need to start immediately. So we want to make that 0 second. So here there is a setting button in Selector. So click on this. You can customize the timer, debugger timer. Why we have this debugger timer? You can say that, Sanjay, why don't you make it 0 by default? Because there will be situation like here, Flipkart one, this appears, we cannot make this immediately appear. We will have to hover on this. Here in this kind of situation of bubble loader, that bubble loader comes, there we have to stop immediately. So different situations, that's why we have this options for all the users, that in if you are able to make it like visible in 5 seconds, 10 seconds, so you change time accordingly. Now we will make it 0. Click on this setting button again to go back to the default. Now we will refresh the page, and as soon as bubble loader will appear, we will click on the debugger. Refresh, debugger appears, click on this. Now you see that this is stopped here. We can inspect this element, and we are able to inspect this, and we are able to generate this. So this way you can inspect such kind of bubble loader and dynamic elements as well through SelectorsHub. And you can, once you are done, refresh the page, debugger will resume. And trust me, in many situations, this feature of SelectorsHub coming as a boon for developers and testers. Because there are many situations where means the way you know that you can start the debugger by clicking on the like F12 button and all, that doesn't work. This way it used to work always. Cool. Then what all other features are there? If you are writing script in Playwright and you are using Xpath, so generally in Playwright it used to support double quotes in Xpath, not the single quote. So will you have to replace this single quote manually? No, there is a button here, click on this, and now you see that it is generating Xpath with double quote. So if you will inspect any element, you will see that it will generate with double quotes. So this way it will be very helpful for you to get Xpath directly with double quote. Once you want with single quote, you can turn off. Now you see that here in SelectorsHub, whenever you inspect elements, SelectorsHub generate all possible selectors and XPath for them. So you have to scroll up and down, right? So we want to see all of them upfront. Like for a learning purpose, if I'm learning something, I don't like I'm inspecting this element. I want to see what all possible selectors has been generated for this element. I have to scroll down like, okay, tag name, partial link text, class name, all these things has been generated. Can I see all of them upfront? Like we will not have to waste time in scrolling. Yes, you can expand the view and you see now all upfront. Just inspect the element and you will see each and everything upfront. So this way it will help you to see all possible selectors upfront itself. Now, there will be situation that when you are working in real time and you have the knowledge of each and everything, all possible selectors and everything. In that case, what happens? We want just XPath and CSS selector. We don't want to see all these information. Tag name is not of my use. Link text, partial link text, class name I don't use. Suppose you are not writing on JSPath or jQuery, JavaScript framework you are not using, then in that case, you don't need this JSPath and jQuery. Those selectors generate that as well. So you don't need all of them. You can customize the UI and whatever you need that you can keep. So here, click to customize UI. Now you can uncheck whatever you don't need. I don't need XPath tag name. I don't need absolute this. We don't need them. So you can uncheck them from here. You see that whatever you don't need, you just uncheck. Let's say you don't need these toggles and all. You can uncheck them and just click back. And you see now you just have the neat and clean selectors of whatever you need that is there. If you must be thinking that what if I like next time I have done settings and next time if I will open this, will it come with my settings or I will have to do it again? It will come with your settings. Whatever you have set, it will come with that. So you will not have to set it again. So this is so easy. There could be a situation that you forget how to like what all settings you have done. So there is a reset button. If you click on this, it will reset everything. Another great feature there in SelectorsHub, you can also like convert your XPath into CSS selector. Suppose you have like here you right click and copy this CSS selector, let's say, and you have, now let me inspect some other element here. You have this long XPath, so CSS selector, and you want to convert this into XPath. So you paste your long CSS selector and hit enter in SelectorsHub. It will generate this small and like robust CSS selector, better CSS selector for your CSS selector or XPath. So you see that you are getting better CSS selector. If you have XPath for this element, let's say, paste this. You want to convert this XPath into CSS selector, hit enter. You see that you got a small CSS selector. So this way you can convert your XPath into CSS selector as well. It is very helpful. Here you have this, like you want to reset everything, click on this button, everything. So this will take you to the default setting. Now, how can we generate the relative XPath, like relative to other element? So suppose here we want to generate XPath for, let's say, this enter email field with respect to user email label, or password for password field, enter password field with respect to password. So there is an access button here. This is really good feature. You will love it. Click on this. First, it is asking you to inspect parent, then inspect child. So let's say we want for enter password with respect to password. First inspect this password, then inspect this enter password. You see it got generated. So this is really cool. This is a relative XPath for password enter password field with respect to password. Suppose you want to generate XPath for courses with respect to Test Case Studio. First inspect Test Case Studio, then inspect courses. So this is the XPath for courses with respect to Test Case Studio. So you can generate this kind of XPath. Here, if you want with command, first you can turn on the command and like whatever command you want, that you can keep it here, and then you can generate. Attribute filter is also working. There will be situation like where you like, let's say here it is in asking now inspect child, and parent it has already inspected. So in this kind of situation, you want to reset these values because you want to change the parent element first. So in that case, how to reset them? Click on access button, click back again. Now value reset. Now you can inspect the parent with respect to which you want to generate. Let's say we want to generate XPath or changelog with the certification. Now we inspect changelog. So this is the XPath for changelog with respect to certification. If you get confused, if you get forgot anything, there's always tutorial with that, so you can watch that. Click back to go back here. So this is normal mode. So we have seen all the features of SelectorsHub with these through these button icons. Now let's see shadow DOM, iframe, more complex scenarios, how it will help you in those things. Another 10-15 minutes, guys, and you will be like, great. You just inspect the element, and here you see that as soon as we inspect element, you will get to know that this element is inside shadow DOM, which can't be accessed through XPath. Use cssSelector. So you got that information, because generally, if you're not aware about shadow DOM, you might not be able to get to know that this element is inside shadow DOM. Shadow DOM, what is shadow DOM? Shadow DOM is basically a partial DOM which is attached to an actual element of the DOM. So it always starts with shadow root in the DOM, and it will be always attached to an actual element of the DOM. And this actual element is called as host element. And if you guys really want to learn in deep and in detail how to handle and everything to see and all, so I would really recommend that you check out these courses here, because it is really difficult for me to teach each and every concepts in such a small session. We have already like 2.5 hours I have been speaking, so it's difficult for me as well, for you as well. So check out this course here under courses, the first one. This will really help you guys a lot. Okay, so coming back to that. So we have inspected this enter name field. So this here you will get the complete script. You can simply copy this and paste it in your code and use that directly. I will show you. And if you will verify anything, like if you want to verify this, you can verify selectors here for this element. But if you will be making any mistake, like suppose because Shadow DOM doesn't support XPath, like this was a question in our quiz here. Now I can show you this one. Which selector can work for Shadow DOM elements? So we chose this one. Like if you copy this XPath, now this one here, and paste it here, hit enter, it will tell you that XPath doesn't support Shadow DOM. So that's where you get to know. So whenever you are in this kind of situation, first inspect, and many people told this one. Let me show you this one. This was for SVG element, but that was an XPath format. But this concept you will not be able to learn from DOM. Like if you right click and suppose you are here writing XPath for this element, then you will not be able to learn from here. If any element will be inside multiple shadow DOM, like you inspect this is inside 2 shadow DOM. Now with the bare eyes and as in like normal person, it is really difficult to identify how many shadow DOMs are there. There could be 10, there could be 5, and you will have to look into very carefully in the DOM that okay, this inside this one, and this shadow root is inside again this shadow root. So this is very difficult, and then writing selectors for each element, host element, too very painful. So here you can directly copy this complete script from SelectorsHub like this. Just go back to your editor and let me show you how simple it is. SelectorsHub has made it to automate such kind of complex scenarios. You just paste that script, and here suppose we want to enter this into this field, enter pizza name. Tell me guys which pizza you like. I will enter that pizza name here, and I'm going to host a meetup next week guys here in Bangalore. So so I would request all of you, those who are in Bangalore, please join that. So okay, Margeta farmhouse, let me copy this farmhouse. Good one. So okay, so let's say we want to enter this value farmhouse here. Trust me guys, try to automate this scenario without using SelectorsHub. That's where you will understand the value of SelectorsHub. I'm also hungry, Vishwas. He is hungry. Okay, let me execute this script now, and you see that how easily you can automate such kind of scenarios where you will be like where you can enter the value. So this is really complex scenarios in general, and this page will be having like this practice page has all such like complex scenarios, and you see that it has entered the value here. So this is how you can handle such kind of complex scenarios with the help of SelectorsHub within few seconds. You just have to inspect the element and you will get to know. You will get that, Vishwas. You need to inspect the element which is inside shadow DOM. So enter the correct element or read the information in selectors of what it is saying. Now, suppose any element which you inspect here that is inside close shadow DOM. Now you see that it is telling you that please watch this tutorial to handle close shadow DOM, this element inside close shadow DOM. So here each and every information is available. Now you click on this. Here you would be able to learn about this in the SelectorsHub YouTube channel, so that you can get it here. If you will be making, how you will get to know, you see that it is closed. So this you will learn from here. Now any kind of thing which is possible, which is not possible, SelectorsHub will tell you upfront that this element is this element is that. In fact, you guys can use this page to take interview of someone that you have to identify whether that person is good in like automation or not. Just give them this page to automate this page and like enter value in each and every field. If they are able to do it, trust me, he's a like really expert. Like you can think that he can copy code from somewhere, but he will copy, but you will be asking him to explain the code. So that's where you will understand if he is able to explain. Okay. Anyways, more complex scenarios. Suppose this field, like do you love tea? If you inspect this element here, this element is inside iframe. Okay, wait a second. Let me before that show you the iframe thing. If you inspect any element which will be inside iframe, so you see that you need not to waste time to figure it out that if this element is inside iframe and that what is the iframe XPath to switch inside iframe. No, you need not to waste time to scroll up in the DOM to see and all. And you need not to waste time like by figuring out anything. You see that you got the iframe XPath, you got the XPath for the element inspected. You can simply copy this XPath of iframe, go back to your script and use them. If any iframe, if any element is inside multiple iframes, like there are 2, 3, 10 iframes, in that case, you see that just inspect the element. That's all. You just have to inspect element and you will get it everything here. This element is inside 2 nested iframe. This is XPath for first frame. This is XPath for second frame. This is XPath for the element. So this way you can get all those things. Now, if any element is SVG element, so inspect that element. This will tell you that this element is SVG element. So this way, like you will get to know that this is SVG element. And if you will be making any mistake, like let's say you are writing this as this kind of XPath, you will immediately get to know that this XPath doesn't support. So this way you will learn that what is the correct format of SVG element XPath. In fact, like if you right click and copy this XPath from here, this is a wrong XPath which DevTools generate. If you hit enter, you will get to know. So this way it will be helpful. So you will get to know this as well. So we have seen these scenarios. Cool. I'm really getting a pain now. Okay. Can I request one favor, guys? It's been just one favor. Can you guys give a like, does SelectorsHub and Test Case Studio deserve 5-star rating from you guys? Can you help me to get the rating? That's the only thing. So that like, meanwhile, I will take a pause for 1 minute. My mouth is hardly really paining now. So just, and post that I will show you some tricks on XPath and selectors and this complex scenarios on this thing, that how you can handle those scenarios which are inside iframe, and that iframe is inside shadow DOM or shadow DOM is inside iframe. So I'm just taking a pause for 1 minute. Meanwhile, I would request you guys please give a 5-star rating for SelectorsHub and Test Case Studio. I shared both the links here. I will also show you that cross origin iframe that also been there is a way. No, Pradanya, for now we cannot use SelectorsHub for mobile stimulator in Appium, but for mobile web you can use. Very soon I'm coming up with something for this as well, for mobile native apps as well, and that's what the announcement recently I made. So yes, soon you will see something for mobile web. You can use it. Thank you guys for the rating. Is everyone done? Then we'll start. Hi Rishi. How many of you are in Bangalore? Is there anyone in Bangalore? I'm hosting the meetup here in Bangalore on this Sunday. No, not Sunday, I guess Saturday in PhonePe office in Bilandur. So you guys can join. You all are invited. It will be great. Yes, I guess for Pune we'll be hosting on 7th May mostly, I guess. So yes. You guys will be getting the recording of this session, so do not worry. Don't worry, you will get the recording. Yes, Ahmedabad also, like, we'll be hosting. I'm planning for everywhere, like in most of the cities. Yes, Jiten, we can plan for Indore as well. Like if there will be good community and good number of people, then we will be definitely plan for this. Yes, Aditya, new tools. are coming. We'll plan for Hyderabad as well very soon. I will. You guys can follow me on social media on LinkedIn, Twitter. So you will be getting the updates on Selectors of website, and maybe like today or tomorrow I will announce that, and I will share the registration form so you can register for the meetup. Okay, cool. So I hope like you all have given the rating. I got for Test Case Studio I got 9 ratings, and for SelectorsHub also. If anyone couldn't give the rating now, you guys can give it later. Then now let me continue with the session so that like a lot more things I can show you guys. Cool. Okay, so let's see some really complex scenarios now. I hope, I mean, it's very easy for with the SelectorsHub. Sometimes it will be difficult, really difficult without SelectorsHub. So let me just inspect the element. Here, let's say, do you love tea? Now this element is inside, you see that. Read the information, it is telling you this element is inside single shadow DOM. And that shadow DOM is inside iframe. So this is one level of complexity, that element is inside shadow DOM. You have to see this. And now this shadow root is all the way, if you scroll up, and trust me, like manually, if you do it, how difficult it will be to figure it out that this is inside iframe, right? Let's take it one level up. Lunchtime, here you see that this element is inside two nested shadow DOM. Now you see that this element, if you see, inside this shadow root, this is inside this shadow root, and these two shadow roots are inside this iframe. So this is another level of complexity. And now you see that if you have to automate this element, if you have to enter this element, how difficult it will be. But here with the SelectorsHub, it will be easy, very easy, not just easy. You just first switch inside iframe, because top is iframe, and then two nested shadow DOM. So first we'll copy this. So I hope this is a lunch time for everyone and everybody is hungry. I'm sorry, guys. Now here you write driver dot switch to dot frame, and as we have got the XPath from there, so that we can pass it here, driver dot find element by dot XPath, and paste that XPath here. So this is how we have switch inside iframe. Okay. Now after switching inside iframe, we can simply copy this script, paste it here, and suppose we want to enter the value here. Let's say send keys, and what let's say here it is asking what would you like to have in lunch. Let's say pizza. Now you guys will be really hungry, so now execute this script. So first we switched inside iframe, and then we are handling both the shadow DOMs. And you see that it has entered the value. So this is how like these are such a complex scenarios could be very easily handled through SelectorsHub. And then there are like a lot more complex scenarios, so that we can of course keep on exploring. So what we have learned so far is smart editor, error handling, typo, Xpath 2.0, element info error, how you can save selector, case insensitive, and all those things we have learned here in SelectorsHub, and this will be helpful for all of you really. Then generate locators page, the complete code itself, inspect visible invisible drop-down elements, verifying multiple exportable codes, customize UI, quiz we already had. Now we'll see that how to use SelectorsHub in incognito and like both the things. So okay, one guy has got stuck with cross origin iframe. Let me show you. So cross origin iframe, it's not like with the W3 rules, W3C rules, we cannot inject the JavaScript inside the cross origin iframe through extensions. So for that, like if you right click and inspect this element, SelectorsHub will let you know that this element is inside cross origin iframe, and watch that tutorial to handle those kind of elements. So sometimes it is not able to, but sometimes it will let you know that this element is inside cross origin iframe. So in that situation, there's a way like you can right click and copy the value from here. So this is how you can generate. And there is a tutorial on SelectorsHub YouTube channel. You can watch that to learn more about cross origin iframe. Okay, where I was, yeah. So how you can use these SelectorsHub and Test Case Studio in incognito mode. So like if I open on incognito, so here you see that it is not there, SelectorsHub and Test Case Studio. How can we get them? Right click on this logo here and manage extension. Here you will see that scroll down, allow in incognito. You need to turn on this toggle. And if you want to for local files, you can also allow this access. Now you see that this logo came here. So if you want to use in incognito mode, now you can use it here as well. You can just turn on this and you can start your testing here. It will work. So this is how you can use it in incognito mode, these extensions. Where all these extensions will not work, default blank tab, default browser tabs, and browser stores. So many times it happened that people start using in this tab itself. So this is, you see that Chrome, whatever tabs you have opened, this is like Chrome colon. So this is Chrome default tab. It's a local tab. It's not a web application. So extensions work for web like web application. So use for web application. And like blank tab, many times we think that this is google.com, but there is no URL. So there should be a google.com, right? There you use. Don't use extensions on the web store because that is not like your web application, and extension store doesn't support this one. Like they doesn't allow you to inject this script. So don't try to use extensions here. Power of Xpath. How you can use Xpath to automate big scenarios in place of like writing a whole bunch of script. Because you see, can anyone tell me like how you get all the URLs of a page? Like suppose if you are on amazon.com, let's say, and if we have to get all the links of this page, so how do you write a script? I'm sure you all used to write this way, that /a, like and also guys, there is one issue in Chrome from 99 Chrome onwards, though they have fixed it, but still I'm telling you guys that sometimes you might face this issue that SelectorsHub, you're not finding it here. So in that case, refresh the page and you will get that in Selectors. You will get the SelectorsHub here. So sometimes there could be issue that you might not find SelectorsHub here. That is because of this issue, though they have fixed it and it will be available very soon. I will show you that bug from Chromium. So this is the issue from Chrome, that component tab is not showing on developer tool. So this is Chrome issue, not the SelectorsHub issue, guys. Most of the extensions are affected because of this issue. So don't worry that if sometimes you don't find SelectorsHub here in DevTools. Refresh the page, close the DevTools, open it again, you will find it here. Okay, so now, okay, I was telling you this, that /a. Okay, so you got all the links. Now you want to get all the URLs. So do you guys write, how do you guys write the automation script? How do you guys get all these elements? You write like this, driver.find elements by.xpath, and then /a here, get all of them into that list of something, isn't it? Do you guys agree with this, that yes, you do this way, that list, and then you get that do for loop and all. An interview also we do this. Okay, what if I say that you can do it in like this second, in 1 second? Nothing required. This much code, writing of code, for loops and everything, nothing required. See this here, /a. After this, you just type /@href and hit enter. You see, we got all the links here. These are all the links in this page. Like, let me show you on the small page so that you would be able to visualize. Let's say we are on google.com so that you can see it clearly. /a/href, hit enter. You got all the links here. If I keep it in editor mode, that way also you can have a better view. So you see that you got all the links in this page. You need not to write that whole lot of script. You copy this and just say these are all the links in this page. So this way you can do web scraping of a page very quickly. Suppose you want all the text of like, let's say on this page, if I turn off this, you want all the text of the elements of the links in this page, /a text, hit enter. This is the text of all the links. This is how you can do the web scraping. Suppose you want all the links in this page. There are 586 links in this page. Okay. Now we want to test how many links are secure, how many links are not secure. So how you can do that? You just do through Xpath everything. You need not to write whole bunch of script that first get all the links, then check for the HTTPS or not. No, that you can do it through directly Xpath. @href contains this HTTPS or not. So we are checking, get me all the links in this page which has the href HTTPS. Hit enter. There are only 26 links on this page which are secure. Rest all are not secure. And what are those links values? You can just type /@href and you will be able to get them. These are all the secure links. So this way you can do things really quick, smartly through Xpath. How you will get the future updates about SelectorsHub? So you can subscribe to the SelectorsHub YouTube channel. Let me share you the links of SelectorsHub YouTube channel. As well as, like, you guys need not to somebody asked this question that will we have to update SelectorsHub every time whenever there will be new update? No, you guys need not to update. It will be, or update will happen automatically, so you need not to worry about that. And also you guys can like these, let me share other links as well. Like you guys can join this Slack channel, and like if you need any help, you can join this Slack channel. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We used to keep sharing a lot of good memes on Instagram. Please follow there. And here's the Telegram group link, so you can be there. And then if any help required, you can always check out there. Now time for the like, what is that new feature came in SelectorsHub now? What is that really great innovation? Let me show you guys. So you see that today, is there anyone who is using Playwright? Then it will make more sense for you guys. Anyone who is using Playwright? Just started learning, heard of, not using? Yes. Okay. So you see that if you have to verify Playwright selectors, there are like lots of Playwright selectors they have introduced. So if you have to verify Playwright selectors, just to verify one Playwright selector, I will show you what you have to do. You have to run the code, like you have to run this code. You have to run this command in terminal. Okay, I'm showing you guys how painful it is to verify one Playwright selectors today. Okay, and how we have made it easy now. So you see that we have executed the code in debugger mode. Now this will open the website. We are on this. Okay, let's say, let me go to this practice page. Now suppose for this element, let's say, right click and inspect. Let's say we inspect this element. You used to go to console, and here you write playwright. Let me first take this selector of playwright type of selector. Sorry. So this is a playwright selector. Come on. Okay. Now I have a playwright selector. Suppose this is my playwright X, this is playwright selector. Okay. And I have to verify this. So today, how people are doing this? They are running this code, what I have just executed. Then they open this browser, the code used to open this browser. Then they go to console. Here they have to type this playwright. Then they do this dollar here, and then they paste this Xpath here, or means playwright selector. And this is how they are verifying it. So you see that how painful it is. First you have to run the code, then you have to go to that console, then you have to paste that selector, and then you have to type this playwright dot dot, then you paste this, and then you verify. Many people forget many times, first of all, this command which used to run the code, then this command, that playwright dot dollar dollar. Too many things to learn just to verify one selector. Too many things to do just to verify one selector. Now with SelectorsHub new release, it is already live. With this version only, whatever you guys are using, you will not have to do anything. Let me show you what all you need not to do. Let's go to changelog here. Now you need not to run the code to verify playwright selectors. No need to open new playwright window to verify playwright selectors. No need to switch between console and elements tab to see the DOM. You will not have to type playwright dollar dollar, and you need not to remember new command like playwright dot dollar or playwright dot dollar dollar. You will also get the proper error message. How? Let me show you. You just have to verify playwright selectors in a standard way, whatever way you are verifying Xpath and CSS selector. Just open selectors up and simply paste your playwright selectors here. Hit enter, it will show you. This way, it is going to make playwright users life so much easy, because playwright is the future anyways. So now you see that you need not to run, see, just to verify one playwright selector, what all things we had done. Because this selector, this playwright selectors, if you think, can you verify it here? No, that's not possible. Like, you cannot verify this one here. This will not show anything match 0 0, because DevTools doesn't support that one. So here, if you have to verify, you can simply verify in SelectorsHub. Like any element you inspect here, like this one I have inspected, or any element you inspect, whatever selectors will be there for that element. Like, let me first generate. So this is the enter password one. So if you have to verify this playwright selector, you can verify it here. So this way, it will make your life much easier to verify playwright selectors, because like many people in future is going to use playwright. So this way it will be very helpful that all these things has been made easy with the SelectorsHub, and this is really great innovation, because people are moving towards playwright thing, and many people are using it. Is growing like crazy, so this will help you guys a lot. So that's the new thing which has come in SelectorsHub. This is going to make a lot more easier life for playwright users. You can imagine, like, if you are just have to verify one selectors, and you have to do lot many things. And apart from this, 3 new tools are coming, guys, very soon. So you guys really, means in couple of, like, in next month, so many things you are going to see from me, and with that that will help a lot. I would request all of you that please give this presentation in your company, let your colleagues know about these tools, share about SelectorsHub and Test Case Studio on social media, let others know about these crazy innovations. Lot of efforts has gone inside this to develop and to create such kind of tools. And it's been almost like 2 years I have been developing these free tools for community. If you guys have, if you want to support, of course you guys can support, be a patron, or you can donate here. And whatever help you can do, please do support Selectors Hub. The only support this I required from you guys, that please let the world know about Selectors Hub and css Studio, because in social media, in LinkedIn, you must be seeing that people used to say that don't use an Xpath to write your own Xpath, but nobody will ever tell you that what is the right way to write the Xpath and CSS Selector. Because you see, when you verify your Xpath and CSS Selector here in DevTools, you write // Are there 123 links? No, there are not 123. Let me paste here. There are 104 links. Why it is showing 123? Because it is matching this string. Nobody will ever teach you this. Just that we have been taught till date that verify your own XPath. But when we say that verify your own XPath, doesn't it mean that write your verify XPath here? We always verify this here. One more example, very good example I will show you. This XPath. You verify this here. It is showing 2 matching nodes. Can anyone tell me that why it is showing 2 matching nodes? Though this is 1 matching node, XPath. This is another great concept, because when you verify in DevTools shows XPath matching count with respect to all the DOMs, all the iframes available in the DOM. But when you verify in Selectors Hub, it will always verify XPath with reference to the currently inspected document, which is correct, because you see that here it is showing 2, because 1 it is considering inside iframe as well, while you can directly use this XPath in your automation script because it is 1 matching node. But in real time, you guys will try to keep making it unique. So this is where we have wasted a lot of time. An interview, many people used to get rejected because they are not able to explain why it is showing 1, why it is showing 2. And people think like XPath and selectors are very minor things, but they are the backbone of automation. If you are expert in XPath and selectors writing, you can say that you are expert in UI automation, because click and send keys and the framework development happen once. Everybody can write .click .send keys, but XPath and selectors you will have to write for each and every element. So that is where it has really important thing. You guys can follow me here. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Once again, my humble request to all of you, please share SelectorsHub and css Studio. And about this session, I used to keep hosting this bootcamp generally like every week or in 2 weeks. So please let others know to join this bootcamp. I will try to keep this free for everyone. But yes, of course, I need your support, that if you feel that it was useful, you can still like donation window and the registration window for the payment is open, so you can support. With that, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining. And if you guys can turn on your cam, we can take the selfie without like first before itself everybody leave. And I will share the recording with you all. So yeah, if you guys can turn on your cam, we can take a selfie, and then it will be great to share it on social media, because many times we don't see that whom I was talking to for 3 hours. Okay, first of all, thank you so much, guys, for joining. Okay, so another 10 seconds we'll wait. If once everybody will be okay, then we'll take the screenshot. Okay, good. All set, guys? Anybody else wants to turn on? Okay, I'm taking it now. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, guys. It was wonderful talking to you, all of you, and I hope you enjoyed your Sunday.
Yes, thank you,
If you
Sanjay.
have
Thank
any
you very
question,
much.
you guys can ask.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
I'm waiting
Thank you,
for
Sanjay.
more learning from you.
Thank
We
you.
already had a great weekend with you, Sanjay.
Thanks. So great to hear that.